Okay, folks, so I was just online and I was looking at the various criminal cases that were coming up, whether it be local or just throughout the state of Florida. And I came up with this first thing November 17, 2015. Man with long criminal history arrested in golf cart in the Villages. The village of Polo Ridge couple was surprised to find a drunken man in a golf cart Monday night at the entrance to their driveway. The man had an extensive criminal history, and he showed up in the couple's uh, the entrance of their driveway about 6 p.m. The police were called. There was an empty bottle of Canadian Mist on the floor of the golf cart, and ultimately, when asked for his driver's license, Hedger provided the deputy with a Department of Corrections identification card. He did some field sobriety exercises, and he told the deputy, he was asked to do field sobriety exercises, and the deputy said, quote, that this man said, "I can't do it." Well, then I started reading. It's crazy because I start reading the comments to these things. And it's so funny how the general public really doesn't have an idea of how the criminal justice system works. So they say this gentleman has a criminal history, that he was convicted of DUI in 2011 in Lake County, and in that case he had been arrested in Fruitland Park, wherever that is, no idea. Well, in 2012, Hedger was arrested on probation violations. In 2012, his probation on battery and the DUI charge was revoked. So basically, sometime in 2011, 2012, the guy got drunk, or allegedly had a DUI, and he pled to it, so he's guilty. And apparently, he also had a battery charge. Now, it says in 2006, he was arrested on the charge of burglary of a dwelling. He was also accused of battery in that case. Well, if anyone understands what a burglary mixed with a battery is in the state of Florida, and I've talked about this, it means it's a life felony, meaning he's facing life in prison. Well, if that happened in 2006, and here we are in 2016, guess what? He probably wasn't convicted of it because he'd be doing life, right? So it's funny that he was accused of battery. Anyone can be accused of any crime. So anyway, the reason I decided to do a little blog on this is because this man, James Thornton Hedger, they read an article, and then it's just crazy how you hear the comments of the individuals. We can blame ourselves. Let the bleeding hearts cry for the Civil Liberties Union. And they pass laws to protect the lawbreaker instead of the hardworking, peace-loving people. Come on, Carol, serious crime? There are more serious crimes, and this is the one that I agree with. Gary says there are more serious crimes than someone being drunk in a golf cart. I'm sure that a quarter of the people who've been in a golf cart have been drunk at some point. Then they talk about, I see a lot of guys post, a lot of bad guys posted here, but stay tuned. And then, okay, there's liberal judges, what's wrong? Lock this guy up and bury the key for the next 20 years. So for DUI, we don't even know if it's a motorized golf cart. If it's an electric golf cart, the DUI laws aren't applicable, folks. So he's in a golf cart, stopped. It's not like he's not even on the road. What is he, on the sidewalk? It's just so crazy. I don't think there's enough room in the jails for the deadbeats. So just put him back on the streets for $100. Where did this loser get the golf cart? Steal it? Now he's a thief because he's drunk on a golf cart. Just because the newspaper article claims that he's been arrested. Okay, in his whole life, the guy is 47, 48 years old. This is his second charge, but his only prior criminal history, according to the article, is a past DUI and a misdemeanor battery. Woohoo! Right? 2 misdemeanors punishable by up to 1 year. And people are saying throw the key away and let him sit there for 20 plus years. Now then they start to talk about how he's scary looking. They talk about the legal system. Then they talk about, this one guy goes on, it's really great. He talks about the legal system. We need more prosecutors, and then we need more lawyers because everyone's a lawyer, so everyone's benefited. The police benefit. He got that right. The police actually do benefit. And one cop stood up and said something to the fact about, well, cops don't get anything. We don't get extra money for being arrested, which is all BS, because that's not true. Police officers get overtime, extra pay, for increased hours. So they work a 40-hour week, and then they get time and a half for every hour worked after. So that's not actually true. But it's just, what is the matter with the courses? This guy's a long criminal history, at least one case, his crime included violence, and he gets $1,000 bond. He was drunk in a golf cart with a bottle of alcohol sitting on the thing. $100 million? What should be the bond, folks? It's just odd. It's everyone is so anti, criminal until they're accused of a crime, and then it's, oh, prove my innocence. I didn't do it. This is ridiculous, this system. You wonder how the system gets ridiculous when you read these comments, because these are the kinds of folks that end up writing legislation, unfortunately. So anyway, I'm attorney Roger B. Foley. I'm talking about the Village News. Man with long criminal history arrested in golf cart in the Villages. Crime of the century, November 17, 2015. James Thornton Hedger accused of a crime. Take care, folks. I'll post the thing right along with this.